Hey everybody, welcome to What the Flick. Taboo, Season 1, Episodes 4 and 5, getting caught up with Ben and Tim. I'm Alonso. There's been talk about the slow film movement of late, you know, your Belatars and your, I don't know who else, but this is some slow television.
First of all, you and I have been doing this together, and we're now good friends, and it's good. So you like, I barely speak, and you're like, no, hold on, like, you know what I'm getting wrong before I get it wrong. It's nice. It's nice. It's like we're in a solid relationship. Is this, like, Tom Hardy's in it, and it looks great, although it is pretty dark.
Yes.
So, I mean, it looks great when it's daytime.
But both in theme and light.
Right.
No,
Like,
I can't watch the show in the daytime.
Yeah, it could be. I would like it to be a little brighter, not in tone, but in
contrast,
in light. And so, is it a fair, like, is this show good?
I think it's good.
I'm still kicking that one around.
So am I, because I have moments where I definitely think it's good, and there are great scenes in it.
Yeah.
Yes.
But it is, at moments I'm like, I mean, it is incredibly slow and seems to be rubbing your face, rubbing its face.
There are times where I think, could this have been like a 3-hour movie? You know,
Right.
But then it's like, but then am I taking away from its deliberate pace and its world building? I don't know. You defend, please.
I like the performances,
Yeah.
specifically Tom Hardy's and the East India Company.
Jonathan Pryce,
yeah. I also like when our hero has a plan that we get to like sort of figure out as we go, and I truly have the impression that he has like this big master plan, and everything's always falling into place for him, and we're only sort of.
And then obviously he's having to improvise along the way. You know, like when he finds out that he has to have gunpowder, then he figures out how to steal the saltpeter. And then when he finds out that, when he finds out that he needs the saltpeter from the chemist, then he's like, okay, here's how we'll do it.
It's a little Ocean's 11 because it's like a heist, and it's a little bit Sherlock because he seems to know everything, and it's a little bit Iron Man because he's got unlimited coffers that he could just buy.
I do find the character a little
he's
unstoppable, which is not always the most dramatically interesting thing. Like, I don't ever feel danger. I always feel like everyone is 2 steps behind, Delaney and the devil Delaney, and it's
he's
like
had nothing go wrong.
That's fun, but at the same time, it's kind of like, well, then why am I concerned? Because I know you're going to win.
Like in episode 5, there he cuts the guy's thumb off.
Yes.
Right. Like, so whatever. That's a sort of standard move for this show. Like that kind of
the 1 minute
seems
manager.
Pretty tame, actually.
So and then he's like, I'm inside your heads. Not only do I know who's thinking about doing it. So is he making that up? Did he just choose to cut off innocent man's, one of his team's thumb to make a point? Or are we supposed to believe that he does know? Is this dark magic that he has?
I don't know. I mean, maybe he thought they all were going to do it. And he figured if he did it to one of them, then they'd all like step back or something.
That makes more sense.
But we are meant to take this, whatever the magic-y stuff is, seriously. And clearly at the end of episode 5, Zilpha is like trying to figure it out for herself because she also hears the voices or sees the whatever,
And who is talking? Is she hearing when she says "teach me"? Is she talking to him? Presumably, right? Yeah. We think.
He said like, I thought I was mad, and then the voices taught me how to blah blah blah. So maybe she's talking to the same voices.
I mean, it could be a bait and switch. He could be playing the Wizard of Oz, but really he's just has a couple of good connections and got some good intel. And
I just if a hero comes in and cuts off one of his teams, we made a thing about how he's coming up with this team of whatever they are, right? His dangerous team.
Right.
So
League of the Damned.
League of the Damned. So if you're high the League of the Damned and then you torture one member of the League of the Damned just to make a point to the other ones, well, that's revealing about the character. Or if he actually does know because he's got this, he does seem to have too much information. Like, where is he meeting? He doesn't have time to meet. If he has a secret spy somewhere, like literally, when is he able to meet with this person, right? And how would he have it? He hasn't been there in 10 years. So him being patched into the community, I don't like, because he wouldn't be. The whole thing is he's an outsider. Then, if he cut off the guy's thumb to make a point, or he did know because he has this team of spies, or power, 3 possibilities, not letting us know is irritating. Like, it's not. I don't think that's a bold move. I think that's a weak move. Like, we should know if he thinks I am going to I am going to sacrifice the thumb of one of these guys to make a point to the others. It's worth it. I'll pay him in the end. Right, I'll give him an extra 3 pennies, because that's apparently that'll get you anything. 4 pence. So that's an important thing to know, and I don't think it's the kind of thing that viewers should be left in the dark about. I don't find that interesting.
Yeah, it's and like the whole thing with the duel, like the wife, or
the polite exchange of bullets.
Yeah, exactly. Where the sister never finds out what actually happened. That's kind of frustrating, because then on top of it, you've got then after that, the husband brings in the exorcist, the rapey, creepy exorcist. So much rapey, creepy on this show.
It's called Taboo.
It is. I know. It's like you almost want the brother and sister to get back together, because they're the healthiest couple.
That's right. Yeah, they care about each other.
Yes.
Mutual respect.
Everybody else is awful.
So that was disturbing. And then because you thought there might be a moment between her and her really awful husband, right? Because you thought maybe he had thought, well, maybe he's not so bad, right? He didn't
kill me when he could have. No.
And so I liked the duel scene in general.
Yes.
I agree that it was lovely. The polite exchange of bullets, great line. The fact that they have to insist there will not be a second shot. The guy, the lawyer, complaining about the fog. Can we just get this over with? It's brutal out here. Why don't you just kill each other and we can move on? So, and I liked that moment because his invincibility is, it's a problem, right? And so,
but it also sort of makes sense, because now he has 3 organizations that are determined to keep him alive because of this will, right?
Right, but I just mean
that's why the bullet wasn't loaded.
Yeah, no, I get that. I liked that it wasn't loaded. That was a moment where he showed some vulnerability, because if it had been loaded, he'd be dead.
Right.
Right. So you see him react to that. Like,
and at least they tell us what's
he's
going
like,
on.
oh my God,
Yes.
I've been shot.
Yes.
Wait, that's not. There's no ball there, right?
Yeah.
I don't know what that means. Went into him. Something went into him, but
It's just gunpowder.
just gunpowder.
Yeah.
So, and then seeing him put it all together. So I like that, but I think it's a great point about that if he's Superman, well then, we only in any movie you only have one thing to worry about.
That's true. Yeah. What is Delaney's kryptonite? We don't know yet.
The Americans think it's his sister.
Right, and it probably is. It probably is his sister.
Yeah.
But like, how does he know, or is he just guessing? How does he know that she's, Caligari? That's not right. That's not.
No.
Calgon. That's not right.
Carlsbad.
Carlsbad.
Carlsbad. Thank you. I knew it was something with a CA.
And there was a place with a cavern. Cabin. Whatever. What's wrong with me?
Once upon a time, there was a cavern. Okay, yeah, no, I think maybe just for lack of other reasonable suspects. I don't know. But she's clearly involved, whether or not, and I think he nailed it. But yeah, you're right. How does he know?
And then it was nice when his mother-in-law, his stepmother. Sorry, it was nice when when stepmom, like for all the things he knows, he's sitting there pouting, throwing his dad's letters, which he should read, which are nice, into the fire, and she's frustrated because she clearly felt something legitimate for the father, it would seem, because she read the letters because she wanted to be closer to him, to the father, and then but he can't figure out that there's a secret door on the thing, and she's like. Like for all his genius, he couldn't solve
that's
that
the
one.
thing he missed.
Yeah.
I did like the scene where Ms. Bow and Zilpha meet in the ladies' room at that party, and when Zilpha says we have the same father, I would be like, wait, I'm your stepmom.
Right, you will talk to me with respect,
young lady.
Yeah.
Does Lorna realize the taboo between them at that moment? Because she initially thought, oh, this is a guy that is into.
Yeah.
This is a girl
I think she does, because I
Yeah.
think she saw the way they looked at each other. I think she sensed.
Yeah, they're not
Yeah.
subtle.
She
in
said,
parties
she
and
was like,
crowds.
"Oh my, who's that?
I know.
Someone has stopped you. Someone
Right.
has
Caught your eye.
Someone has legitimately caught your eye." So I think she's probably piecing that together. But she's, we also, it would appear we could know from her, she wouldn't necessarily judge that. In this, like, it's not going to make him out of bounds to her.
No.
Yeah.
Especially because she's married, and I mean the sister is married, so she looks at.
I guess
her
if you're gonna decide to be with your stepson, the fact that he was with
his half-sister.
Pot and kettle.
Yeah,
Right,
la-di-da.
right, exactly. Once you've gone down that road, it's really.
I'm a big Tom Hollander fan, so I'm pleased to have him on here, and it gives
Which one is he? Brace?
the chemist.
Oh, he's the
the
chemist.
chemist.
Oh, he's
Yes.
Yeah.
right. And he played. I couldn't figure out what I most recognized him for. That's what I was looking up earlier. And oddly enough, it's that he essentially was Tony Blair in the last Mission Impossible, like that.
Oh, right, okay.
That's what.
Yeah,
I just saw this guy, but it wasn't even just.
He's done a million things,
Yes.
Cambridge Spies,
Yeah,
and
he's on British TV.
He was in this dumb British comedy years ago, but playing an obnoxious Scottish director named Ewan Proclaimer, and I just thought that name was so funny.
great
I always
name.
remember him as that. Anyway, so Tom Hollander is the chemist, and like Brace, I think he's a much needed sort of like sardonic counterpoint to the utterly humorless Delaney, who will occasionally sort of call him out on his
Yeah,
excesses.
but they're both like, being your friend and somewhat loyal to you is fucking exhausting.
Exactly.
If you could just maybe, hey, I tell you what, I made breakfast. How about, hey, thanks, sit down, let's have some coffee. Like, can we have just that moment? Then you could be a dick for the whole rest of the day. You could be you for the whole rest of the day.
Some acknowledgement that this shit's going to blow up at any second,
Right, and he does decide to bring in his brother, right? That's his younger brother, right?
Yeah.
Right?
Or
son.
We're not. I thought we don't.
We don't know, but that's what the chemist thinks.
The chemist thinks, but he said it was his brother when he met with the farmer who's taking care of it.
Oh, right. Yeah, you're right.
I think he said early on.
It was also
that
the father's other son.
the father's other son, but we're acknowledging that it might turn out that it's his son. That seems to be what they're.
Could be.
Yeah. But anyway, he's putting the family back together.
Yeah.
All right. What else do we? East India. Obviously, that's all. What they're doing is always interesting. I think the king is great.
Oh, the Prince Regent?
No, the king. I think who's playing the king is great.
We've seen the king.
Have we seen the king?
Isn't that the king?
The Prince Regent is the guy who's eating out of the
I
ostrich
thought that
egg.
was
Face?
I thought that was
the
king.
face. No, that's the Prince Regent.
No, I'm not. Yeah,
I don't think we've seen the king.
Okay, so that's the Prince Regent, which means he's what? The king's cousin?
The king's Steve Bannon, I thought we decided.
Oh,
yeah.
I thought Steve Bannon was the guy they were talking to. That was
Coop.
Coop. Yeah.
Oh, okay, no.
Okay.
And then the whole scene where where Lorna gets arrested and like has the close call in the jail, that was exciting. That was a genuine moment of like tension and suspense on this show that wasn't just dragged out.
And I like the interrogation too, how they lay all the documents in front of her.
Yes.
This is the suit. This shows how you win. This is all your money.
This
and
is
this is your
dated 2
conviction.
months from now. Yeah.
Dated a month from now. Yeah, that was good. I did like that. Okay, so I see that's the prince, but I still like him. It's still a good.
Yeah, no, it's fascinating.
Sort of gluttonous, and he's fat in a disgusting way.
Yeah.
Like heavy is okay, but he's got
not sexy fat.
Right. No, but that's actually true. I mean, you're proportional. You're a big guy. He's like the worst thing. He's like a skinny guy with a huge gut.
Right.
It's
What, like eczema all over his face? Like
Something like that. I don't know.
yeah. No, it suggests
inbreeding
and then Atticus, who's his main
His
guy,
aide de camp. Yeah, that guy's oily.
and that's Stephen Graham. That's the co-creator.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
No, he's good. I like him.
No, everybody's good.
No,
Yeah.
the casting's great. I like. I don't remember the actor's name, but the drag aficionado who's spying on the meetings
that's
for him. He's really good. Of course, our House of Cards pal is the American Spy Master.
Oh, right, Michael Kelly.
Yeah,
he's terrific, always terrific. Yeah, I read a review. I think it was The Guardian. It was not a review. It was a news story about how it's not it was very expensive.
Yes.
And it has not made its money back overseas. It hasn't made its money back there, and I don't know whether it will here. But and they're praising Tom Hardy. They all know. It's like, look, it's Tom Hardy. Of course, it's worth watching. He goes, but it's awful. That was basically what
must-watch bad TV.
Yeah.
Well, it's kind of interesting. This is sort of the second example that I can think of this kind of like actor-driven auteurist television. Because you look at, I don't know if either of you guys watched Horace and Pete, which was the show that Louis C.K. created. That you originally had to buy it off his website. It's now streaming on Hulu, and if you haven't watched it, watch Horace and Pete. But again, it was this show that he paid for himself. He really wanted to do it. Didn't announce it at all in advance. There was no publicity. Just like appeared one day, and I think he lost a couple $1 million on it. But
Wouldn't surprise me, and I don't think he would do it any other way.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and I don't think he necessarily regrets that because it was obviously a great artistic opportunity for him, and it's a substantial piece, and it will stand the test of time. And as will this in various
many episodes of Horse
iterations.
8 or 10?
Yeah, something like that, yeah.
And they're the full 20 minutes or 30 minutes?
They're an hour.
No, they're
each.
like an hour.
Oh, okay. So it's like a full undertaking to watch.
Oh,
it.
yeah.
All right,
No,
I'll
it's
watch
a
that
thing,
next.
but it's really
It's
good.
like a 10-hour play.
Basically, yeah. But yeah, so I mean, I think for Tom Hardy, like he's getting a lot out of this, and you know the however many iterations of whatever media people are watching things on 20, 50 years from now, this is a show they'll look at. But yeah, it is.
I hate the.
It's a troubling show.
I hate the open.
I skip it every time.
Yeah, I know,
It's
but
not
sometimes,
memorable.
but like sometimes when-
Drowning Slaves doesn't do it for you?
Yeah, but I can't even tell what it is. It's too. It's aggressively artistic and supernatural. Two things I hate.
Oh, speaking of which, we have to talk about the East India Company has now this guy who's bringing a suit or whatever.
George Chichester.
George Chichester doing this investigation
right.
against the East India because of the sinking of, I assume that's in the opening credits,
That
the
ship.
sinking
That
of
ship.
the
Innocence.
The Influence.
The Influence. Thank you. I knew it
Innocence.
was
What's
a
wrong with
weird
that?
boat name.
Yeah.
So that's at least it's finally come around as being a story element.
Yeah, I presume episodes 6, 7, and 8 are gonna, stuff's gonna happen. It has to
Yeah.
happen. There are gonna be decisions made. They have set up nicely Hardy and whatever his, Delaney and his mission, with a nice sidebar of Clara Bow, and then the company and the Crown and the Americans. Like this is nicely that there are fully formed 4 battle lines. Four groups.
Do we think we're going to get to Nootka Sound this season?
Like physically, a camera is that? No.
This season?
Well, I'm assuming there's. I mean, I don't know. I mean, maybe there may never be another one, but I mean, like, I'm sure they thought there might be. Like, do we think they're even going to get that far? Or is this all going to be within the UK and all the machinations?
I don't think we
they're
sail.
in?
I don't think we
Yeah,
sail.
I don't either.
Taboo
And we
to
sort of know what happens, right?
Nootka.
Like Vancouver is very much Canada, and so like in theory, the Crown wins, right? The Americans don't get Vancouver.
No, it's an island, though. We don't know. They might. By the way, I don't know it enough to.
Yeah, I guess I
get,
have
Yeah, I don't know my
historical
19th century
research.
history
Did we
That's
get
fair.
here.
it for a little bit? Did we?
No idea.
Yeah.
We'll just have to tune in. And
But
find out.
we managed to open up trade routes to China in another way.
That's
If
true.
We didn't get. Here's what happened: that from War of 1812 until 2016. The United States had a great 204-year run, and then it all fell apart. And,
This much we know.
This much we know. Yeah.
All right, we'll be back with more Taboo next time. Thanks for watching.